Alright, hello everyone, my name is Aniket and I'll be your coach for today, and today we'll be taking a look at iambic pentameter. Now to begin with, what is a meter itself? A meter, speaking in scientific terms, is the reoccurrence of one standard basic unit. A basic unit which repeats itself, which reoccurs for n number of times. Getting it? So when I say I have 5 meters, alright, this will take it as an example. When I say I have 5 meters is the repetition of 1 meter. Alright, 1 meter repeats itself 5 times, or 2.5 meters repeats itself twice. Okay, so repetition of one basic unit for n number of times. Similarly, iambic pentameter is composed of a basic unit which we call a foot, or an iamb for that matter. So we call this basic unit a foot or an iamb. And what is this iamb composed of? This iamb is composed of 2 syllables. Alright, now that we know that one iamb is composed of 2 syllables, let us now focus on the very sound of these 2 syllables. This is where things get a little bit tricky, because iambic pentameter is an accentual syllabic meter. The sounds for these 2 syllables are very specific, okay? They've been specified. The first syllable will have a shorter sound, and the second syllable will have a more pronounced, prominent and louder sound, right? So let's take an example. Let's take a word, say I have a word intense. Now the word intense can be broken into 2 syllables, in and tense. When I say intense, focus on the sound, okay? The pronunciation of these 2 syllables, okay? Listen to them individually. Intense. In, the first part, the first syllable had a shorter sound, right? In. And then I say tense, intense. So the syllable tense had a more prominent sound. It was louder than the first syllable, right? So these 2 syllables will have a similar sound, okay? The first one will be unstressed, a shorter sound, and the second one, which follows the first one, will have a more louder sound, will be stressed. In, tense, a short sound and a louder sound, right? Alright, now that we're talking about the very sound of these syllables, I'll give you another example. These 2 syllables in themselves, these coupled together, they sound like the beating of your heart. Okay, the heart emits 2 sounds, okay, as we know them scientifically as lub and dub. So the first sound is a shorter sound, lub, and the second one is a more prominent sound, dub. Lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. Getting what I'm saying? And now because it is a pentameter, this basic unit will repeat itself 5 times. Alright, now that we've established that any given line in iambic pentameter will have 5 feet, and each of these foot is composed of 2 syllables, so this very line of iambic pentameter will have a total of 10 syllables. Let's go back to the sound of the beating of the heart, right? A short sound, lub, and a prominent sound, dub. Couple them together, make a foot, and repeat it 5 times. Lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. You'll notice a rhythm here. Now try putting on the same rhythm any line from, say, Spenser's sonnet. Okay, let's take a sonnet, like as a huntsman after weary chase. Let's give it the same rhythm. Lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub, lub dub. Like as a huntsman after weary chase. Let's take another example. One day I wrote her name upon the strand. Alright, if you understand this rhythm, the understanding of iambic pentameter will become very, very clear. Alright, and the iambic pentameter is very natural to the English language. Say, if I say a sentence like, I play guitar and sing a merry tune. Naturally, this sentence is in iambs, okay? And 5 iambs for that matter. I play guitar and sing a merry tune. There you have an iambic pentameter, right? Alright, so I've tried to illustrate the same here. I've taken the very first line of the sonnet like as a huntsman, and I have broken it up into 10 syllables, like as a huntsman after weary chase. Let's give it the same rhythm, like as a huntsman after weary chase. A short sound followed by a prominent louder sound, right? I hope this makes sense, right? Now let's move further, and for a work to qualify as a work in iambic pentameter, it has to have a rhyme scheme. Sonnets had an elaborate system of rhyme schemes, okay? A, B, A, B, B, C, B, C, C, D, C, D, E, E. You'll find this in Shakespearean sonnets or Petrarchan sonnets, for example, A, B, B, A, B, B, A, C, D, C, C, D, C. Anything for that matter. It has to be in a particular rhyme scheme to qualify as a work of iambic pentameter. If it does not have a rhyme scheme, it becomes blank verse. So that was all for today. I hope this makes sense. I hope everything's clear here. And I'll see you in the next lecture. Take care. Goodbye.